It was an unprecedented subway shutdown. Now there's an investigation into what left hundreds trapped underground.
Timing out evening showers and storms and what you can expect by tomorrow morning.
And New York Live is with Matt Damon and his new film, Stillwater. This is News 4 Now for August 30th. I'm Adam Cooperstein. Governor Kathy Hochul says Sunday night's abrupt subway shutdown was unacceptable. More than half a dozen train lines came to a halt, and now the governor is promising a full investigation into what caused this. The problem started when a ConEd power surge caused a loss of communication at the MTA Rail Control Center. That surge impacted all of the city's numbered subway lines and the L line. Governor Hochul called it an unprecedented breakdown. In the South Bronx, about 300 people had to be rescued from trains that stalled. The governor and Mayor de Blasio now say they are working with ConEd and the MTA to prevent something like this from happening again.
But again, we've got to figure out why this happened and make sure it does not happen again. We're working closely with the MTA. As I think everyone knows, the subways are back up and running. There are certainly still delays, but thank God the situation was contained and subway service is coming back fully now.
Normal service was finally restored at about 5:30 Monday morning. Well, a lane shift on the BQE, the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, could bring major headaches and traffic delays. And right now, both directions from Atlantic Avenue to the Brooklyn Bridge have been reduced from 3 lanes down to 2. The city's Department of Transportation says this work on the expressway is going to make it safer and also cut down the number of accidents. Plus, it'll reduce weight on the road, which will extend the life of the BQE, they say, for another 2 decades. What's not clear, though, is how long the construction is going to last. Well, we're learning more about what caused some tense moments in Times Square Sunday night. Take a look at this video from EarthCam. You see people here scrambling after they heard a loud noise. A lot of people thought it was a shooting, but the NYPD says a dispute between 2 people near the TKTS Red Steps ended with a planter or barricade falling to the ground, and that's what caused the loud noise. Police say no shots were fired. A man was taken into custody, and some vendors tell us they're worried about their safety.
My hat is I have in my hand, and every day is something happen, but I had to stay away. I had to eat.
In May, a 4-year-old and some adults were shot in Times Square after vendors got into a fight. And in June, a Marine was hit by a stray bullet there after a turf battle between 2 men. A 16-year-old has been charged in that shooting. Right now, an urban search and rescue team from New York City that works under FEMA is headed to Louisiana to help with Ida's aftermath. More than 80 police, fire, and emergency personnel are arriving in Baton Rouge after the hurricane. They're equipped with hazmat and medical equipment and also swiftwater boats for water rescues. Volunteers on Long Island have also collected supplies. They're heading down south to help as well. Donations were taken in for cats, dogs, and pets in Hurricane Ida's path. North Shore Animal League America is going to be sending those supplies along with pet food, bottled water, and toys. Tennis is now taking the main stage in Queens this week at the U.S. Open as it returns with fans. The first round is now underway, and this year the tournament will be at full capacity after no fans last year. However, the USTA was forced to make one change from its original plan. Under the city's guidelines, spectators over the age of 12 will have to show proof of at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine.
Hi there, I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa. Hope you had a great weekend. We're starting off this week definitely a little more muggy, and it felt a little hotter today. Temperatures staying into the 80s through the dinner hour, but you do note we do have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, and really through the late evening. It's not till the overnight. We'll get to some of the breaking up of that overcast, maybe even a little less muggy as we get into the morning hours. But showers and thunderstorms, nothing wild. You could see a quick downpour here and there, and then by later on tonight toward tomorrow, actually seeing some clearing. A lot of that humidity stays in place, especially picking up as we get into later tomorrow. But we're starting off at 73 in the city, the same in Newark, mid and upper 60s from White Plains, Poughkeepsie, Long Island staying in the low 70s, and Belmar as well. While tomorrow stays mainly dry, it's a big heads up as we get into the middle part of the week for more tropical rain.
Matt Damon's new film Stillwater is in theaters right now. New York Live has a look at why the A-lister says this premiere of the film was an emotional one for him.
Allison came here here for college, and that's where she met this girl, Lena. One night she found Lena dead and called the police.
Is the lawyer not helping you?
I'm doing it myself for now.
I could help. No one would substitute you, trust me.
She's my little girl.
Dad, please.
I'm not gonna give up.
This film really makes you think about how you would do anything and sacrifice everything for your child or for the people that you love. Does being a father, did that draw you to this project or affect the way that you developed Bill?
It probably did. You know, I kind of read scripts and tend to just intuit, you know, if I really am moved and feel something, then chances are I'll do it. And I probably was moved by this because I'm a dad. You know, it's a central theme to this movie is about a father, you know, trying to help his daughter, trying to repair this relationship that he's done a lot of damage to over the years, and the grief and the pain and the guilt and the shame that he carries around that relationship. And you know, so I think there was a lot that as a parent I could relate to.
You received such a well-deserved 5-minute standing ovation when you guys premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and we saw you get a little choked up. So what were you feeling in that moment?
Oh man, well, there was a bunch going on. I think, you know, we finally got this movie out, and we'd been holding it for so long, and just, you know, it's that feeling, is that day ever gonna arrive when we can show it to people? But the other thing that kind of got on top of me and I hadn't quite anticipated was just that feeling of being in a movie theater again. Just remember the feeling of going and like all showing up together and turning the lights out and watching something all together. It was just a great reminder of why I love movies.
Stillwater is in theaters now.
Happening now in Brooklyn, you can see official portraits of President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama. It's their latest stop on a 5-city national tour. And News 4's Tracy Strahan got a peek at the portraits.
Unforgettable, iconic, and now the portraits of former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama are open to a new audience.
So this is like seeing the Mona Lisa at the Louvre.
I think it's even better than seeing the Mona Lisa.
Originally unveiled in 2018 at the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C., the images of the former president and first lady are now on tour. The Brooklyn Museum is one of only 5 stops nationwide to see the portraits that broke the historical mold.
These older historical portraits that we have in the Brooklyn Museum are based on 18th century models of royalty. And we don't have kings and queens as our monarchs. We have elected officials.
Artist Kehinde Wiley painted the oil-on canvas portrait of President Obama that's filled with symbolism.
Chrysanthemum, which represents Chicago, another flower which represents Hawaii, and another representing Kenya. It's almost as though we're sitting right at the tip of his shoes and looking up, but not too far up. We could engage in a conversation with him.
Artist Amy Sherald created the portrait of Michelle Obama with her hand under her chin, aimed at capturing one thing.
Where does the eye go first when you look at Amy Sherald's portrait?
Well, Amy Sherald's portraits, I always look at the eyes, then I look at the costume.
Beyond the portraits, the exhibit documents the election of the first black president and the first black artist to be commissioned for the historical task.
The future presidents and those artists that they choose will have a lot to measure up to.
Tracy Strahan, Today in New York.
Thank you so much for joining us on News 4 Now. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.